I do believe it is Tuesday. And how on earth do I ever know the next best steps? Well, I'm starting. I'm learning that I'm going to do what brings me joy anyhow. Therefore, ergo, my son would say, ergo. Therefore, I continue with my daily lives and I continue with my interviews and I continue with my group. Yes, I do. But you know what? Oh. And while we're talking, I've got this black up here because I'm buying a screen. Do you like the white or do you like the black? Hmm. Hmm. See, I've even got you on my shopping trip with me. What is the next best step? How do I know? How do you know? Well, I don't know what trick you're using, but I know that I am doing what I love to do because I would do it whether I was getting paid or not. That's how we need to be making our living. And for 40 years in the financial world, when I started out, I was all gung ho. It was a little stressful for me because I didn't know how to do sales and all of that stuff. And there were very few women in the business at that time, and carrying my briefcase like every man. And I went to new man's school too. But you see, I had to work hard for that because I was raised to give away what God gave me freely as my free talent and work hard to make a living. So I did that. But you know what? I needed to be doing what God gave me, which I have spent 40 years polishing. Well, all my life. I was on stage when I was 5. I've spent all my life polishing what God gave me. And that is where I need to be living abundantly. So how do I know my next best steps? I'm learning to be confident and go into ease and flow. My dear friend, Pat Kammer, learned about this decades ago and actually was applying it and achieving it probably a couple decades ago. And I've been aiming for it for a couple decades. And what is it? Is to be in ease and flow. Yes, we need to polish our skills and our talents. And I've been doing that, but I kept thinking, well, I can't go over here and do coaching just because it comes naturally to me. I have to work hard. I had big lessons I had to break loose. But I'm finally getting the gist of it. This morning, my accountability partner and I were talking, and the whole idea of I do so much for free, but I just can't help myself. And as Dari said, Sandra, you just can't help yourself. You just teach. And Stan is saying, you just can't help yourself. You keep giving and giving and giving, but it's bringing me joy. However, I do know that at the next best steps, abundance needs to also follow. And quite often it's ourselves blocking receiving. So I have been doing and getting paid, and often less pay than I should have. So limited payment. Why? Because it's up here. This is something you need to understand. And it's really hard to break those little crunches inside. I got thinking this morning how hard I have worked, how diligently I have dug into myself. I've done the work. And quite often people come to me and say, oh, well, I just want to be like you. Well, yeah, then you're going to have to work like I did. And then I still continue to work. I'm always learning. I'm always working. And it's not hard. It's deep, caring work. And I work diligently at freeing myself. And for you to free yourself, you're going to have to go have the courage to dig and root and look under what makes you tick. That's how I know my next best steps. That's how you're going to know your next best steps as well. Excuse me. So if this resonates to you that you're going to a job that you hate and you're counting down the days to retirement because then life will be like this and this and this. Know what? My life is like this and this and this every day, right now and has been for the last 15, 20 years. It's just getting better and better and better as I learn to be me. And in that, I've learned how to communicate and celebrate the skills that I have polished. You see, I've paid my ways. I've spent tens of thousands of dollars investing in finding who I am, exploring the curiosity, and out of that, the travel that's taken me all around the world. I've done the work. And if you want the same thing, you have to do the work. And many of you do. But caution, as you work, just because you have to work, you're resisting, you're pushing against, you're resisting, you're pushing against, because I have to do it. I know that song, I'm Dance, I did it. And the reason is that you don't have to do the hard track that I did, because I can help you bypass a lot of that stuff. But to bypass it means you're going to have to click that button and get into the discovery call and consider whether or not working together would help you. And I know it would, but you would have to decide, free yourself. So I have about 3 spaces where I'm willing to work with people, even for 2 sessions, which is not going to be what I'll be doing in the future. I'll be going into 6, 8, 3 months, 6 months packages. But I do have 3 spaces where I'm willing to work for 2 time slots. So if that's of interest to you, you're going to have to go to link.sandrabox.ca and into one-to-one coaching, or even if it's the discovery call, you can do that. But that's going to be your next best step if you're looking for the same freedom that you see me living in. And I do that through communication, listening to ourselves, digging deep, peeling back those onion layers, picking those scabs. You can do it. I'm Compassionate Queen of Straight Talk. I know you can do it. And I know I can help. Just imagine being confident and free. Have a wonderful afternoon and evening. It's Coach Sandra, Compassionate Queen of Straight Talk. You can do it. I can help.